Make peace with yourself. The war outside exists because the war inside exists. We've been talking a lot around words and information and taking in pieces of information, coding, and ones and zeros. It's all just information. And ultimately, information can get a bit much sometimes. So the more you take in, the more you have to process as well. So you need time to process the information that's been added, because it may not have been there before, but now you've got more information that you still need to process, and that needs to fit into the previous information that you've already processed. So it's almost like you've just put all the puzzle pieces together and you created a circle, and then somebody goes, oh no, but there's an extra piece, and then you have to somehow make this fit into the circle. So you have to deconstruct the whole circle, reconstruct it with this new piece. Otherwise it's not whole, because otherwise you've got the whole and a piece. So every time we have a new piece of information, we have to deconstruct everything, start again, rebuild everything back from scratch. And this is why we need to let go of attachment. Because if we're attached to the process that we're in of creating this whole thing right now, and we get more information, every time we get more information, we need to break down everything again. We get upset and we get angry and we throw tantrums going, but I just did that. Yeah, now you start again. It's almost like we get so attached to things we've created, to things we've done. This is why there's a Buddhist ceremony that they do with sand. They build a sand mandala. It takes them 3 days to build a sand mandala. Do you know what a mandala is? Mandala is like a beautiful structure, or like a picture, or different shapes and sizes, but it's this beautiful creation. And it takes them 3 days with all these different colors, and they color it in with a little pipe that literally just drops small amounts at a time. They do this with saying mantras. For 3 days, they build this beautiful mandala. And then they do a ceremony and they wipe it. Destroy. Start again. Non-attachment. Because whenever we get attached to something, your life path is making sense of this whole. There's this puzzle piece that you have to fit in there. So you start creating this whole, and then you realize, but there's this puzzle piece. Instead of resisting breaking down, break it down. Start again. Make sense of it in a different way until it makes sense again. Just rebuild. You haven't lost anything. You've added something, in fact. So, if you can let go of the attachment, the resistance to having to start again, the resistance to die, to go through a process of letting go, of dying, of separating yourself from that thing that you're attached to, the resistance is the thing that creates the pain. It's not the thing that creates the pain, it's the resistance or the attachment. This push-pull dynamic that creates the pain. So in the same way, that's if you want to create the whole and somebody gives you extra pieces. But what if somebody were to take away pieces, going like, but hang on, that's not you. That's not the essence of you. So they go, and you realize, but actually, that is not me. I'm many things, but I'm not that. Take it away. Now you have to make whole again without the piece. Best way to do it, break everything down again. Start again. It's so simple, but it's our minds that can completely stuck in this thing of, yes, but this is mine. This is my identity. This is what I've created. This is my thing. This is my friend. This is my emotion. This is my pain. This is mine. There is no you. There is no such thing as you even. So how can it be yours? It's actually such insanity if you really think about it. But it's not at the same time, because it's so painful, and when we're in it, it's so intense and it's so hard, because we love people, we care, we have connections, we have to deal with that part of life. So for as much as it is insanity, it is also why we're here to learn certain things. So ultimately it comes back to how can we treat each other with the highest level of tolerance and respect and kindness, patience, acceptance, love, where we don't cause more pain, we don't inflict more pain on others. And at the same time also not causing harm to ourselves. So not sacrificing your own for somebody else's. But the only way to really get there is to get to know you. And how you get to know you is generally the best way is through silence. Because then all of what is in your mind meaning this subtle information levels that creates mind flow, information, it starts coming back to you when you're in silence. So when you're retreating, you're pulling back. You're not sending out your energy, you're pulling back, which means you're pulling in. So the mind will start coming in and reflecting to you certain things. It could be that certain thoughts go on loop or repeat. Certain fears may come up, certain emotions, certain pains may come up. It's all normal. Just let it happen. Because it's now that information that's been sent out for such a long time created like a boundary around you. It's like I'm sending information out, right? So nobody can touch me because I'm sending out. But if you stop sending out and you just relax, what could happen is now things start flowing. Things can come in and they can go out, but eventually they're going to go in. So all of the things that you've been expressing will start coming back to you, and you'll start recognizing, oh, this thought pattern, oh, I remember I said this, I remember this person said this. All of these things come back to you. And all of this mind activity rides on like a subtle wave, which is the breath. So it's attached to the breath. So when we breathe, we move the mind. So learning how to focus the breathing, learning how to harness the breath, teaches us how to harness the mind, how to focus the mind at the same time.